And with that, we set sail again, away from the Forbidden Islands, and back to exploration, discovery, and away from this creepy monkey empire. The Ash Isthmus. That's a hard word to say. Oh yes, just pop on down to the Isthmus. Isthmus. The Isthmus. It's definitely time to be sailing back toward London. Discovered Nablus Reef. Ooh. What's that? Strange puffs of warmth from the air behind the ice. This is the Pillared Sea, where Irem will lies. Has always lain. Discovered Carlisle's Haven. A fallen stone. Now and then rocky fragments fall from the roof of the Neath. The decks of older ships are pocked with scars. The sound is one no landlubber knows and no sailor will ever forget. This one has smashed the glass of a deck binnacle. "Ill omen," one sailor cries. "The god in the roof. Storm is angry." I could do nothing. Storm, one of the three nameless gods of the sea, an absurd superstition. That said, it's probably better to make a sacrifice to avert misfortune. In the stories, Storm is the noisiest, angriest, and least reasonable of the sea gods. Better not take chances. A simple rite. Your sailors know the words, you mumble them. A gift of wine and fish is suitable, marked with the captain's blood, ow, bound with copper wire, and cast overboard from the bow. The package bobs for a moment, and then is sucked beneath the ship. I now have X, the gods of the sea, Storm's attention. Irem. None have ever spoken truthfully of this place. The Pillared City. She will rise from the sea in the ice like dawn. She will be garlanded with red and decked with gold. The seventh serpent will watch you longingly from its high pedestal. You will always arrive as a stranger, but when you leave, some part of you will always remain. Compile a port report. You will record what you have seen. A conundrum. When you will sit down to write the report, you will recall that it is written already. Who wrote it? The report records that. It was already written when it was found. Who found it? The report describes another report, which will indicate the name of the finder. Where is the other report? There is a footnote which describes when you will record its location. When will that be? When all is well, and all manner of things is well. And all manner of thing is well. I could take a stay at the House of the Amber Sky. Rest, traveler. Our waters are warm, our cushions are petal soft. Lay your head here. You will be healed. Or, better yet, you will be renewed. Payment in coffee? Yes, please. Close your eyes. The House of the Amber Sky is a roofless space beneath the false stars of the Neath, rich with the scent of Irem roses. Despite the ice, it's warm as a desert evening. You will arrange yourself on the cushions. Close your eyes, just for a moment. The mirror marches. Beneath the skin of dreams, behind the faces of mirrors, an orange sun sails in a fervid sky. Here are the borderlands of that place, close by Irem, and closest still to the House of the Amber Sky. And here you are, in another place. The sun is warm on your uncovered head. In the farthest south, in the arms of the god called Stone, a garden blooms. In ages past, birds stole the seeds from that garden. One bird hid here, in the mirror marches. Perhaps you know the story. The eternal tree. This is the apple tree which will never die. Should the forest fail, and the river run to ash, still it will stand proudly. Take only one apple. Serpents are sleeping. I now have a Hesperidian apple. Oh, wow. You can sell them for bales of parabola linen? Parabola linen. Wow. Interesting economy here. I mean, who doesn't want a soothe and copper long box? And an empty mirror catch box. Might need one of those down the road. The watchful curio intrigues me, but its eyes are pleading. Maybe just one. A lamentable relic. This is all of us one day. But let's not be in a tearing hurry about it. The Fisher of Dawn. This one will find treasures in a river beyond sleep. Bring a suitable antiphon. Threshold. None sail east from Irem. This shop is for those who sail east from Irem. Just a little bit. Top me off. Can buy strange catches here? This might be some sort of fish, but best not look too closely. Just in case. And finally the wind come calling. Tales and tales and tales. Interesting. You can exchange tales of terror for Z stories. And buy extraordinary implications. I did lose one. Just a few. You know, while I'm here. And finally, we to the riddle of stones. A riddle fisher in a sunset-colored robe will wait at the edge of the dock, by a scar in the stone. When you look closer, you will see that a gap there has been expertly repaired with chunks of basalt. When she asks, "Where was that stone born?" the question will have a ritual quality. The Salt Lions. A widely traveled captain like you must certainly recognize that basalt. The dock of Irem, repaired with the flesh of lion statues. What can it mean? She will kiss your forehead and teach you of the tricks light plays on the heart, and of the memories that can be drawn from darkness. I've gained 1 mirrors, and 1 pages. Now I must set sail from the city where no one sails. Okay. Still doing good on my officers. I could invite the Carnelian exile to dine with me. She has the discomfiting, even irritating habit of answering your questions just before you finish speaking. I'd like to dine with her and ask her to remove her glasses. Eyes unconcealed. Removes her glasses, folds them neatly, and places them on the table, then meets your eyes. Her own eyes are marvelously bright. The irises are amber. The whites seem to be flecked with gold. "Yes," she says, "I've been touched by the Dawn Machine. I believe you already knew that, or you wouldn't have asked me to remove my spectacles. I might be wrong. In either case, nothing has changed, now that you know. We will still be wary of each other." She taps her thumb against her index finger. "I am always the same, do you see? I do not change. I proceed on the same path I always have. I am only one choice. and I will be content only when I have no choice at all. Now, let's eat and talk. You promised me something special, and I will give you what little I can in return. An interesting choice. Protest. The journey is the destination. Each choice you make in future will depend on this one. The ship goes where the captain sails, and where the captain chooses to sail depends on where you've been. Or I could accept what she says. She's right. If nothing has changed in response to your choice, then your choice was that of a pawn that chooses to move forward. I'd like to think the journey is the destination. Narrowed eyes. Perhaps, she says, perhaps our choices determine our heading. But at last, when the lamps go dark, there is only one direction. One day, we'll go there together. She won't be drawn further. She picks up her knife and fork. Between mouthfuls, she tells you something of the starved men, and their wars on the roof, the arts of flesh-shaping that they practiced and debated. I enjoyed this, she adds at the end of the meal. We should do it again, when you're ready to talk about salt. Another extraordinary implication. I don't think I'm ready for more of Salt's attention yet. I think it's time to resume my sailing journey. Sorry, sailing. Palmerston's Reach. There is brimstone on the wind. I've discovered Port Palmerston, Duggan's Maw, and Ambrose Point. Brimstone. Always brimstone. Mount Palmerston. Sullen lights glow green at the jetty's edge. Behind the port buildings, the island is knee-deep in ash. There are ruins here and there of houses destroyed by fire. Far above, the mountain's top flickers red. Just for an instant. I do have enough to engage an officer, even though I don't need a first officer, but, you know, she seems nice. Engage an officer, the merciless modiste. Ah, yes, you'll do nicely. I need a ship, dear heart, and I rather flatter myself that you need me. Welcome aboard. The modiste neither packs lightly nor suffers fools gladly. One solitary scratch on my steamer trunks from you sniveling little homunculi, and I take the whole blessed lot of you apart at the seams. She turns back, her lips curling into a smile. As I was saying, Captain, you really must try to take the waters here before our cruise. Most invigorating brimstone. Appoint your new officer by yeah, I know that. Iron 8 fails 3, hearts 1. Actually, that's pretty great. She has no difficulties with blood, but she very much dislikes blood stains. I think I'd like to chat to the port folk about the Brimstone Convention. There was a revolution in hell, and the aristocracy of devils fled here. Here, they plot in exile. A shrug and a curse. They don't do us any harm. They stay up there and we stay down here. If hell's fighting itself, that's good for us all, isn't it? Heck, why not? I'll dig among the ruins. Perhaps the villagers left valuables behind. You could pick over their remains and see what you might find, you ghoul. A diary of dreams. One wall of a barn stands still. Someone has gouged words into it, in one of the lesser alphabets of hell. An account of a dream of the usurper sun, of its gear teeth sunk deep into the roots of time, of its servants in robes of gold and amber, of its beauty and its lies. Gained an intriguing snippet, memory of distant shores, and I was unlucky. I've lost 2 supplies. There's 2 shops here. The Daily Bread, Palmerston's pernicious pollution poisons provisions, and the Malabulge excavations, Diggory, Lutery, and Scholarly. Also, Zoop. Delicious Zoop. I forget what Devilbone dice do. The nature of these yellowish morsels is unclear, except that they are unlikely to be composed of deceased devils. They are kept in sealed canisters, possibly as ammunition. Just a couple here and there. And an ambiguous eelith. Nothing left for me here. So we resume our journey. Sure, why not? I hate you. I hate you, Faustic Corsair. Oh no, look at what you've done. It's a good thing I don't hold a grudge against dead people. You've destroyed the Faustic Corsair. The ship is yours. What will you do with her? Investigate the hold. What treasure did these villains take? Some sort of barrel? Tap the bung carefully. A firkin of honey. This is what they call prisoner's honey, wrung by the lamplighter bee from the exile's rose. I wonder who made up all these names, remarks able seaman Carget. Someone who has read a sight too many books, I'm thinking. Seems a mite rocky up north. Waves slap the side of the ship. Far below, something moves. Looks like a reef of some sort over here. Perhaps an abyss. Eccles's abyss. Frostfound, vast and chilly. A fortress sieged by questions, answers, and riddles. No thanks. I think I'll just, speed away here. Not that I can't take him, you understand. I could definitely take him. It's just, you know, the ship, the sailing, food, engines, fire, lots of things to think about. Tortoise, the first sign of the Khanate. No time to stop down there. We must head north to the Chapel of Lights. Khanate can wait for another day. But a quick stopover in Stoddard's Haven isn't amiss. Frostfound. Towers and ramps and galleries and stairs of ice, raised and spun like an architect's honey dream. No spider ever wove so complex a web. The towers are utterly pristine, untouched by human life. But a pitiable encampment squats by the dock. First things first, create a port report. What are the squatters up to? Bickering amiably. Not all are Irem or Withern. There's the odd researcher, the occasional deranged ice sculptor, now and then a very cold, very sad ruppery man. but for the most part, an atmosphere of friendly rivalry reigns. Seems like a sociable opportunity to take tea with the squatters at the dock. Some of them wear the robes of Iremi riddlefishers, some look like Withern folk, but even more ragged. But they do seem a little more practical than either of those people. A surprisingly warm welcome. We're keeping the steps for the Game of Truths, a helpful riddlefisher explains as she fills your cup for the third time. Every year the people of Irem and Withern meet here for... She pauses. Contests, she finished vaguely. The difference between a question and a riddle. One day, someone will prove themselves enough to enter the castle. You spend a pleasant few hours. While the tea is supplemented with Iremi liquors, pale Withern beer, and something the riddlefisher described blandly as snake cake. They offer you fuel and supplies before you leave. We keep enough to spare. Riddlefisher grins. From time to time, a captain gets lost and comes up here. We always feel bad for them. Gain fuel and supplies. What is in Frostfound? A long flight of stairs rises glistening to a sheer tower. There is no door. The reflection hangs in the cloudy ice. You should not enter Frostfound without a good reason. Face the wall. You probably shouldn't do that, one of the squatters advises. Ignore her. Face the wall. Examine your cloudy reflection. Close your eyes. Step forward. Shiver. Frostfound radiates both cold and a subtler chill of the heart. Did you move at all? Or is it your reflection that moved? You were inside Frostfound. You have moved to a new area. The corridors of Frostfound. Light. 100 rich and blinding colors filter through the ice. It's like drinking a kaleidoscope. It's like being kidnapped by rainbows. The colors shift with every step you take, revealing shining corridors. In each and every corridor, your reflection waits. Enter the sapphire chamber. This corridor shimmers with a blue as rich as the sky of the surface. A howling wind. It fills your ears, but the air is still. I don't stand much of a chance to recall other places where there is no sky. Every facet of the ice crystal wall is hard and depthless blue of a desert sky in this sapphire chamber. You take one step further in, and that blue plucks at your senses. Vertigo spins you. A voice intones, "This was the sky." You are far from any sky. Stare fiercely into that fierce blue and call to mind your memories of skyless islands. I could try it. But a much safer route would be to step into the sky. You'll be terribly exposed, but perhaps you'll learn something. The horror of emptiness. Yes, this blue is a brittle, savage barrier. Press against it and it will shatter, spilling you into the high wilderness. The stars are hungry and there is horror upon you. Your head spins. Increase your terror further to penetrate further into Frostfound. The right items mean you may not have to sacrifice skill points. I can enter the Amethyst Gallery. Over here, a corridor is the deep violet of the more colorful Unterzee corals. Dappled shadows drift like fish. Predatory shapes. You are at the center of Hunter's attention. Things like and unlike sharks, long, sleek, half visible behind the walls. You have the sudden sense that they are vaster than sharks, vaster than Frostfound itself. The Amethyst Gallery. Perspective confounds you. This place stretches away in every direction, through a dusty purple haze, as if you float in a cloud. The air is chill and crackling. Vast and shadowy shapes hang lifeless in the distant cloud, fluid staining their hides. Whale things and beast things bigger than dirigibles, bigger than cities. You are a speck in the cloud. Are you still inside Frostfound? Once again there was a voice, lifeless as a leaden type. There were casualties. My only choice is to approach the Colossi. Fear is the way to the heart of Frostfound. You will not escape unscathed. Terror profundi. Great, sad, dead eyes like stagnant crater lakes. Mouths which could drink rivers. Your entire ship would be a glint on a speck and a pockmark on the least limb of these things. Every time you enter battle, you will remember this. I don't think my terror can withstand much more of this. I've got to leave. It's too much. You aren't really in this chilly labyrinth, are you? You can open your eyes at any time and you'll be safe. Won't you? You've moved to a new area. Whew. That's a lot of terror I had there. And the Khanate just below me isn't going to do me much good in reducing that. Just gotta keep on trucking. And hope that the terrors of the sea don't consume me and my crew. Speak to the merciless Modista, dressed to kill in her own unique fashions. I do have Zoop, but I don't have the solace fruit she needs. Her dresses were the talk of London society before this scandal. Her tastes are no less refined for her exile. I can also challenge the Modiste to her favorite game, Knife and Candle. In London, a spirited little challenge of murder, sedition, and subterfuge. At Z, the stakes are higher. Yet the ferryman's grip is tighter here. We enter Stormbones. St. Eligius sends his fires to dance in the air on deck. Very far away, we see the light of the Ragged Crow. And there it is. Oh my. That is quite a moth. Fortunately, it's no match for the mightiest ship on the Unterzee. You destroyed a tyrant moth. It's already disintegrating into a sloughy mass, like a slick of rotting leaves. I could search for jewels. There's an old story. Sapphires! Blue jewels are embedded in the rotting fuselage of the moth's remains. You gather as much as you can, splashing frantically in the ship's boat, before it disintegrates altogether, and the remaining jewels are lost. The Chongyi Rift. Quite a diverse naming set for their rifts and their abysses. November 23rd, 1888. Home. Warmly lit windows. Company. Peace. Thoughts of home come at the strangest times. November 23rd, 1888. This must be the Void's approach. The air crackles with frosty radiations. To the north, the false stars fail in darkness. And with that, we finally reach the Chapel of Lights. As you remember, the furtive faithful gather in the shadows between the many, many candles. A bell tolls in the chapel tower, cracked iron laughter. Beware, the aisle is full of voices. Must collect the information I was sent for. The smiling priest is my contact. He beckons you closer. I know nothing of the movements of fleets or cargoes or armies, he tells you. But your admiralty will learn the names of those who came here, and what they did. Let me whisper it in your ear. New strategic information, and I've completed my commission. Your Sigil-Ridden Navigator races toward the chapel. This is the place! Hark! The bell! Within, the air is heavy and hushed. You give chase. A consultation in the chapel. You enter to see your navigator shaking a smiling priest by the collar. It led me here! Tell me what it means! Look at it! Look at it! The priest disentangles himself as politely as possible. I'm sure we can find a path to put you on, my friend. He examines the sigil with the professional air of a collector. But we will need your help in return. Pay another price. The priest lifts his arm around your shoulders. For you, a lesser payment, he whispers. Post no guards on your ship tonight. Ask no questions. And in the morning, perhaps you'd like to join us for breakfast. A red and white smile. A new destination. The chapel's congregation are soft-footed. No one on board hears them come or go. In the morning, a crewman's bed is empty. You divert your crew's concerns. Later, you take part in a late, warm, red breakfast in the church's crypt. When you emerge with the smiling priest, your navigator hurries forward from a pew. The sigil, what does it mean? Who carved it on me? What did I do to deserve it? The smiling priest raises a hand. You are on a journey, my friend. Take one step at a time. I've seen your sigil before, carved in the ice at Frostfound. Go there. You will answer your first question. That will lead you to the next. The navigator's thanks are muted. He plods back to your ship. Before you leave, the smiling priest gives you a wink. I'm even more unaccountably peckish. Quick gathering of intelligence. And eating of the chapel's bounty. With that, we take another break, possibly for the night. Thank you for watching.